Hello Internet. Today we're talking about my Gibson Les Paul. This one is a Studio Plus. I bought it in 2004 or 2005. I don't remember. A little bit about these guitars. They were made in USA, and they were an alternative to the much more expensive Les Paul standards. Now they also did have a in-between one, which was the Les Paul Classic, and that was a fantastic guitar, but that one was much more expensive than this one. I believe I paid $1,400 for it. So a few things about this one. These are not the stock pickups. These are Seymour Duncan Alnico 2 Pros, the bridge and the neck. And the reason why I went with those pickups is because I'm a big Slash fan, and I wanted to try to get his tone. What I have since discovered is that I don't sound like Slash with these pickups. I can get a little bit of some GNR in there, but there's so much difference between how he's going to approach his guitars and how I do, so I don't really sound like Slash with my setup. The reason why I bought a Les Paul was because I like the tuning stability of a stop bar tailpiece, the 3-on-3 headstock, and I'm a big Slash fan. In addition to all my other guitar heroes playing Les Pauls, like I can't think, Adam Jones, Jerry Cantrell, and a lot of classic rock bands, like the Eagles, some of them played Les Pauls too. So eventually, what I'm going to do, probably depending on the coronavirus, I'll probably change these pickups out. I really liked the DiMarzios that I have in my Ibanez, so I might consider putting them in here, although I'd have to have gold covers. This guitar came stock with gold hardware, and so that's one thing I decided I'm never going to do again, is buy a guitar with gold hardware. Because when you want to get mod parts, it's hard, because you suddenly run into a lot of limitations. Okay, so one of the mods that I have on here is, this is not the stock stop bar tailpiece. This is actually aluminum. The one it came with is right here. This is zinc. Now, if you know anything about tone and about hardware and metals, zinc sucks tone, in my opinion. There's many Les Pauls that have zinc and they sound fine, but for me, it sounded like there was a blanket over it. So I got rid of that. The first one I had on there that I modded it with this brass Kaler stop bar tailpiece. This is actually machined, as opposed to that was put into a mold. You can actually see the machine marks on this. So when I put this on this guitar, the first thing I noticed was how warm and chimey it was. It definitely added a lot of bass to it, some thickness to it. It was pretty cool. So I had it on there for probably about 7 years, and through my research about guitar tones, I learned that the tone that I was actually going for was more of a treblier, more of a treble sound. So I looked at what Slash had, and Slash, and along with a lot of my heroes, use an aluminum stop bar tailpiece. So I ended up getting this one on here, which is aluminum now, and I can definitely tell the high end is a lot higher now. It took away some of that thickness. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing is totally subjective. I may change it back. I don't know, but I'm probably gonna get rid of these pickups, because right now I don't. There's things I like about it and things I don't like about it. Now, these knobs, both the knobs and the pot, are not original. It came with the black speed knobs. I put on these amber knobs just because I like the look of amber. All my tuners are stock. And right now, I have no backplate on because I was experimenting with stuff, which I tend to do. So, here's some tones. Okay, you might get a little bit of a noise here. So that high end, like the bridge, that sound, I actually do like that sound. It's got a little bit of... I do like that tone. There is a lot of slash in that. That's very usable, very vintage sounding. What I actually think is a cool tone is in this middle. I like that kind of chimey, smooth sound because that actually is fairly slashes. If I was to play that around people, they would know what tone I was going for. Yeah. So if I was going to play that on there, I don't think that very many people would complain about the tone. I know that Slash doesn't play that song with his middle position. At least I don't think. I'm pretty sure he does it with his neck position. Although I've been wrong once before. That sounds more like it right there. Keep in mind, I'm still getting over a sprained hand, so I can't do the bends like I should be able to. Now, even there, I can tell that it's trying to get into Slash territory with that tone. But I think the difference between his and mine is talent. So I definitely do hear some Slashes in there, but I can't get there because I'm not Slash. So a few things that I may do with this guitar, because I used to have a Seymour Duncan JB in there, and that was a pretty cool pickup. It had touches of vintage sound, but it also could get more modern crunch. Not quite heavy metal, but I don't really do that anyways, so that wasn't a big deal. And I used to have, well, I still do have the original pickups that came with it. It was a Gibson something 500. No, 98. And this was the 498, and this was the 4. Yeah, that's it. 498, 490. I still have those pickups somewhere. I don't know if I'll put them back in there. What I did like about those pickups is that they had a bit of a grainier tone, and I kind of like that vintaginess, as opposed to these, which sound a little bit cleaner. I did like the Gibson sound. Oh, also, along with these being changed out, it was initially with a PCB in there and had like modern wiring. I had that taken out, and this is 50s wiring. With a Slash orange drop tone capacitor. So another thing is I broke my nut, so I have to fix the nut on that, but I'm not going to until the coronavirus isn't like hurting people anymore. So a nut job, and probably change the pickups, and I think that this guitar will serve me for many, many more years to come.